Charlie, Friday night football at Prenton Park, historically it's been a big tradition and great to have it back this week.
Yeah, no it is. It's a Friday night under the light. It's always a big occasion. Obviously it tends to bring more fans to the stadium. Obviously we're in a bit of a sticky situation at the moment in terms of results, but you know it's a big game against Doncaster, who are near the same end of the table as us. So you know, we've got to bring what we can, and we're hopeful that, you know, the fans will get behind us again, as they have done all season, and we can get the 3 points.
And a win against Doncaster would put you in touching distance off. You'd only be a point behind, and then that narrows the gap on them, but on other clubs that are in and around you.
Yeah, no, exactly. We've got to take each game as it comes at the moment. Obviously, we're not where we want to be. No one at this club wants to be where we are, but we are there, and that's the reality of it. So we've got to take each game as it comes and try to pick up points where we can. And as you say, if we do pick up the 3 points, we go within 1 point of Doncaster, and the table obviously will look a lot better for us.
All that said about how disappointing this season has been so far, the recent results at Prenton Park have been good. 2 wins out of the last 3 games, even the draw against Grimsby, you came back from being behind. Yeah,
Tranmere sides have usually been good at Prenton Park at home, obviously backed by fans, and you know the turf of the pitch, you know it all plays a part, and yeah, you know we've got to capitalise as we haven't done away from home since February. I think the last time we went away. You know we've got to most definitely improve our away form, but also improve our home form, and you know try to pick up another win at home.
Because there's plenty of talent in the squad, isn't there? I know you've had more than your fair share of injuries, but the talent is there if you can, you know, get a level of consistency.
Yeah, that's it. Consistency. You know, a lot of the players have played a lot of league games throughout their career. Obviously, some are at a different end of the spectrum, but as you say, you know, to be a Tranmere Rovers player, you've got to have surely done something before, and you've got to deliver for the badge and the team when picked upon. So I mean, yeah, things haven't went our way, but we're trying every day to turn it around for the staff, the players and the fans.
Do you think sometimes because of Tranmere's tradition, and I know there have been seasons in recent history where you've been out of the league, but Tranmere are a big club with a massive history, do you think sometimes that weighs a little bit heavy on individuals when things aren't going great?
I wouldn't personally say so. I think everyone who has become a footballer is already beaten odds. So there must be some sort of hunger inside them to want to kick on. Obviously Tranmere is a massive club with a massive fan base, and in a part of the world where football is massive. You know, it's a relief on weekends for some people. And you know, there's been a long kind of, I don't know, family tradition where they'll come and watch Tranmere on the weekend. Obviously this weekend on a Friday night. So I wouldn't say, you know, it's too big of pressure on people's shoulders, but I would say, knowing the lads in the squad, we all put enough pressure on ourselves, and obviously that hasn't shown this season so far. But you know, people put enough pressure on themselves to go out and perform every week, and if we're not, then you know it's a difficult time for them.
And in football, we're still into a relatively early part of the season. In football, a couple of wins can change everything, you know. So to get a couple of wins, you need that first win, and to keep that, as you say, the home form has been pretty decent. A good result against Doncaster, take that into the away form. It's all easier said than done, but building blocks are useful ways for looking at it.
Yeah, of course. You know, we've had wins, but we haven't backed them up, and consistency is key in this league. You see teams who don't start very well, and come January, in the case of, I think it was Bristol a couple of seasons ago, they hit form and, you know, they climbed and got promoted. So, you know, it's not ideal, the situation we're in, but we first and foremost need to win a game. We then need to back it up with another win and keep a run going and start picking up some points and climbing the table.
Is it difficult to maintain the necessary levels of self-belief and confidence when, you know, it's another away defeat and you're coming off the pitch trudging off and you're thinking, oh God, again? And does that affect then the build-up to next week?
I think obviously, you know, soon after a game you're thinking, what could I have done better? You know, you look over the game, you look over your clips individually, how could I do better? Collectively, how could we do better? But you've got to put that behind you. You know, you've got your game on a Saturday, you've probably got Sunday to think over it, but then come Monday, you've either got a game on the Tuesday or the Saturday, and you've got preparation for that game, which looks completely different to how it does the week before. So there's no time to, you know, down tools or feel sorry for yourself, because we've put ourselves in the situation. We've got to get ourselves out of the situation, and the only way we can do that is by looking forward and trying to improve individually and collectively.
Talking about people not feeling sorry for themselves, you had a pretty wretched 12 months when you got that knee injury that sort of cost you more or less the whole of the campaign.
Yeah.
Now you're back fit and firing. It must feel absolutely fabulous to be doing what you want to do and what you love to do. Yeah,
you know, you don't think you realise how much you miss football until you're out of it. Obviously, it was over 12 months from game to game, playing no football. Obviously, that was difficult. That's a mental challenge in itself. You know, the lads are going out every day and you're stuck inside with the physios, which, ask any footballer, or the majority of footballers, they wouldn't want that to happen. And, you know, that was my first big injury. Hopefully, I don't have too many more. But I've had to learn from that to be mentally resilient. And, you know, I'm playing football, so I can't complain. I've just got to try and improve myself. Obviously, with 12 months out, it takes some time to find your feet. But every day I feel like I'm getting there, I'm getting sharper, I'm getting fitter, and hopefully, you know, it will start to show with results.
What was it like with that initial diagnosis when you were told how long it was likely to keep you out? Because if you're told you're going to be out for a couple of weeks, it's an absolute pain. A month is a disaster. The sort of length of time we're talking about is so serious. Yeah, well,
I mean, it was a shock, because obviously when I'd done it, I didn't think it was my ACL. But then you get the scan and you get the results and you get the consultant saying you're going for an operation. Obviously, I thought it would be about 9 months potentially, could have got back for April, but with the advice of physios and the staff at the club who were here at the time, it was probably more realistic to give myself 2 or 3 more months to recover, which will then obviously decrease the chance of re-injuring it again. So, you know, there was a lot of ups and downs throughout it, you know, physically, mentally, but I've just had to get myself through it and crack on, because if I feel sorry for myself, it's only going to be detrimental to me. Whereas, you know, if I'm more positive and trying to improve and strive every day, then it's going to benefit me in the long run. Has that taught you to be more resilient? Yeah, definitely. As you see now, you know, results aren't going our way. I mean, the lads aren't playing how they want to play. We know that. But from a personal perspective? Yeah, from a personal point of view, yeah, definitely. I mean, challenges come up, but, you know, I always revert back to how would I deal with this in, you know, in a perfect scenario, and I try and execute that. So, you know, life is full of ups and downs and challenges along the way, and it's just how we bring ourselves through them, which, you know, will bring you to be the man you are today. And what was it like when you got back playing again, and then, you know, back in the first team and scoring again this season in the league? I mean, that's what you work for, don't you? The moments like that. It's obviously, for me as a striker, scoring goals makes me happy, makes fans happy, you know, makes the team happy when we win games. So that is always the end goal. Obviously, we've got to play well, you know, we've got to score, but then that feeling which I didn't have for 12 months when I was out, that's what I missed, and, you know, I'm hungry for that every time I go on the pitch. And what was your day-to-day life like when you were out, sort of home life, and then coming in here, having to come in for treatment when you were fit enough, and having to come in, you know, to rehabilitate and what have you, but still not kicking a ball? It was definitely harder than being fit and on the grass. I mean, it was longer days. Physio at the time was incredible. You know, he kind of got me through a lot of it. Obviously, the old manager, 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗥𝗧, he was good with me, very good in terms of, you know, keeping me going. The staff as well. And, you know, I had good teammates around me who were there, and obviously I could be there for them when things weren't going their way. You know, you take a kind of different outlook on the club when, you know, you're not playing and you can kind of take a step back and look at the game and, you know, just be there for lads, because it is difficult when you're not winning. So it was good to see a different side. Obviously that you've got to try and take positives from situations, and that was definitely a positive.
You know too much about being injured for somebody of your age, and your whole career is in front of you. I don't know whether you know about the EFL Players Survey. 100 players were asked about the length of time being added to games, and this is in Championship Leagues 1 and 2, and a massive proportion of them think that too much time's being added on. Not only that, but the added time is going to increase the prospect of injuries. Yeah,
well, you see now a game might go 100, 110 minutes now, which is, you know, it's 20 minutes extra a game over the space of 4 games. It's equates to near enough a full game. 5 games, it's another game. So you look at kind of adds over the course of a season, it's probably about 8 more games, obviously in a busy schedule already. But for me, who's been injured, I'm not moaning at the amount of football that there is. You know, we're footballers. You know, we're paid to play football, so I mean, I can't complain.
You want to play as many games?
Yeah, exactly. I want to play as many games as I can, and if that means it goes 100 minutes, 110 minutes, that's why you need a squad of players who can come in and, you know, if someone's tiring, they can come in and pick up the rest, pick up the last half an hour, 20 minutes, whatever it may be. But yeah, as I say, I mean, I'm not complaining.